Love isn't always simple, and passion often comes at a price. Welcome to Intrigue Romance, where secrets, betrayal, and forbidden desires collide. Tonight, we take you into a story you won't forget, where love is never what it seems. Emily Carter was a 35-year-old graphic designer who had recently remarried after years of being single. Her husband, James, was kind, funny, and dependable, the kind of man Emily had always hoped to find. Along with James came his 24-year-old son, Caleb, from his previous marriage. Caleb had been living on his own since college, but financial troubles had brought him back home temporarily. Emily had been eager to welcome Caleb into her life, but the relationship was proving more difficult than she had imagined. Caleb was polite but distant, keeping his emotions close to the chest. He spent most of his time either working long hours or holed up in his room. While James didn't seem to notice the tension, Emily longed for a deeper connection with her stepson. One autumn afternoon, as Emily was watering the garden, she noticed Caleb loading boxes into his car. His movements were hurried, and his face looked troubled. Curious, she set down the watering can and approached him. "Hey, Caleb," she said with a friendly smile. "Need a hand with that?" He glanced at her briefly before shaking his head.
No, thanks.
"I've got it." Emily noticed how heavy the box looked and stepped closer. "What's in the box?" she asked lightly. Caleb hesitated before setting it on the driveway. "Just old stuff I don't need anymore. Thought I'd take it to the donation center." Emily peeked into the box and saw a collection of items that seemed far from disposable. A leather-bound notebook, a framed photo of Caleb and James fishing, and a gold medal from a college track meet were among the contents. "These don't look like things to give away," Emily said, picking up the notebook. Caleb frowned. "They're just old memories. No point in keeping them." Emily could hear the tension in his voice. She closed the notebook gently and looked at him. "Old memories can still be important. Why do you feel like you need to let them go?" He shifted uncomfortably, avoiding her gaze. "I don't know. I guess it just feels like there's no room for them anymore. Or for me." Emily's heart ached at his words. She realized Caleb was feeling displaced, unsure of where he fit into this new family dynamic. She took a deep breath and placed a hand on his arm. "Caleb, I can't imagine how hard this must be for you, adjusting to all these changes. But I want you to know that you're a part of this family. There's room for you here, for your memories, your dreams, and everything that makes you who you are." He looked at her, his expression softening slightly. "It's not that easy. It feels like things are moving on without me, like I'm just here in the background." Emily nodded. "I get that. Change is hard, and it takes time to find your footing. But you don't have to throw away the past to make room for the future. These things in the box, they're pieces of who you are. They deserve to stay with you, not in some donation bin." Caleb sighed, his shoulders relaxing a bit. "You really think it's okay to hold on to them?" "I do," Emily said firmly. "In fact, I think it's more than okay. It's necessary. Leave it inside, Caleb. Keep the things that matter close." For the first time in weeks, Caleb smiled. It was small, but it was real. "Thanks, Emily. I guess I never thought about it like that." Over the next hour, Emily and Caleb unpacked the box together in the living room. As Caleb shared the stories behind each item, Emily listened intently, laughing at his anecdotes and marveling at his accomplishments. When James returned home from work, he was surprised to see the two of them sitting on the floor, surrounded by Caleb's treasures. "What's going on here?" he asked, smiling as he set his briefcase down. "Just getting to know each other better," Emily said with a grin. James walked over and clapped Caleb on the shoulder. "I'm glad you're keeping this stuff, son. It's part of what makes you, you." Caleb looked at his dad and then at Emily, a warmth in his expression that hadn't been there before. "Yeah, I think I'll hold on to it for a while." From that day on, things began to shift between Emily and Caleb. He started joining her for morning coffee and occasionally shared his thoughts about work and life. Emily, in turn, supported him as he prepared for his next steps, whether it was tackling job interviews or navigating adulthood. Years later, when Caleb visited with his own family, Emily noticed the framed photo of him and James still sitting on his mantel. It was a reminder of the day their relationship had changed, when Caleb realized there was always room for the past in the present. And Emily never forgot the lesson she had learned. Building a family isn't about replacing what came before. It's about making space for everyone to feel at home.